The founding of the Palm Springs Modern Committee was a response to the city's proposed demolition of Albert Frey's Fire Station Number 1 for a parking structure in 1999. We held our first meeting at Courtney Newman's furnishing store Modern Way, where we would continue to meet for many years. After a strong outpouring of public support, the City Council dropped its demolition plans and designated the property as a Class 1 historic site. I became PS ModCom's first president, having previously been the chair of the Los Angeles Conservancy's Modern Committee, and this was our first logo. In 2000, a developer announced plans for the demolition of the 1960 Alpha Beta Shopping Center. It was designed by Albert Frey and Robson Chambers and located at Sunrise and Ramon. At the time, we lacked funds to pursue the legal battle after the City Council approved an environmental impact report allowing demolition. It was bulldozed in 2001. The Palm Springs Modernism Show was inaugurated in 2000. PS ModCom designed and staffed subsequent booths for every show since that time. 2000 was the year that we began the first of ModCom's famous modern home tours. In 2001, we retained the services of the stellar legal firm of Chatton Brown & Karstens. Amy Mintier has represented us for almost the entire time. We became a 501c3 nonprofit organization the following year in order to raise funds for advocacy. That same year, we introduced our modern map of Palm Springs, available at the Visitor Center and other locations. For tourists seeking the location of our modern treasures, the map has been invaluable. In the past 18 years, we've distributed over 85,000 maps. In 2002, the 1962 Maslon house designed by Richard Neutra was razed by the new owner who obtained a demolition permit over the counter in Rancho Mirage. Following a worldwide outcry, the embarrassed city did commission a historic resources survey and establish a landmarks commission that began systematically designating historic properties throughout Rancho Mirage. To memorialize the house, design wizard Greg Braun created a fascinating 3D tour of the property that's on our website. Our first preservation awards were held poolside at a nighttime ModCom party at the home of Trina Turk and Jonathan Scow. We honored City National Bank, William Cody's St. Teresa Catholic Church, the Lautner Motel in Desert Hot Springs, and the Chart House Restaurant by Ken Kellogg in Rancho Mirage. Kellogg himself and Julia Schulman were in attendance. In 2003, we organized our first architectural display at the library. That year, we honored the work of E. Stuart Williams, seen here. During Modernism Week, we produce our fabulous gala benefit party that's featured some truly spectacular themes. Our 2004 awards were for the Ship of the Desert, Park Imperial South Condominiums, the D'Angelo Revolving House, and E. Stuart Williams' Idris House. 2004 was also the year that we first advocated for the restoration of the Town and Country Center. In 2020, the property owner announced the first phase of a 4-phase plan to rehabilitate the center, beginning with the restoration of the storefronts along Palm Canyon Drive. A proposal to install Maryland straddling the courtyard has since been abandoned. In 2005, honorees were the Del Marcos Hotel, Grace Miller House, Arthur Elrod's interior for the Edelstone residence, John Porter Clark's own home, and Philip K. Smith's Palm Desert Presbyterian Church. That year, we introduced a Lifetime Achievement Award with E. Stuart Williams as the first recipient. Honored in 2006 were Schindler's Marion Tool House, Chris Menrad's Twin Palms Alexander, and a new house designed by John Baccardo and J.R. Roberts. The Lifetime Achievement Award went to Bill Kreisel, and Jim Moore received the Pioneer in Preservation Award. Also in 2006, ModCom sponsored Dwell's annual conference held in Palm Springs. In 2007, there were 3 tremendous losses of important modern architecture in Palm Springs: the Biltmore Hotel, the destruction of Albert Frey's premier apartments by arson, and E. Stuart Williams' Potter Clinic. Highlights of the 2007 awards were the Burgess House, Coachella Valley Savings No. 1, and Lifetime Achievement Award for Donald Wexler. In 2007, ModCom sponsored the first of numerous stars honoring architectural pioneers to be placed on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. Our 2008 awards were for the Christie Residence, Abernathy Residence, First Church of Christ Scientist, Carrie Perozzi Residence, and the Riviera Hotel. Julius Schulman received ModCom's Lifetime Achievement Award. The Palm Springs Modern Heritage Fund was established in 2008 to raise funds in support of elected officials sympathetic to preservation. It appears to be the only historic preservation political action committee in California, if not the United States. We were honored that artist Josh Agel, also known as Shag, created a special serigraph as a ModCom fundraiser in 2009. That year, we honored the Lance O'Donnell House, William Kreisel's Ocotillo Lodge and Doctor's Building, and the Wexler Residence. The inimitable Robert Imber was the Preservationist of the Year. In support of the economic engine that is heritage tourism, we presented a Palm Springs modern kiosk to the Visitor Center in 2009. This is the beautiful North Shore Yacht Club designed by Albert Frey in 1959. By 2008, however, the property had been vandalized and was slated for demolition. Miraculously, Salton Sea historian and preservationist Jenny Kelly convinced the county to completely rehabilitate the yacht club as a community center. It reopened to the public in 2010. That year at the Preservation Awards, Jenny Kelly was honored for her leadership in preservation, as was the North Shore Yacht Club for architectural reconstruction. Also honored were Herbert W. Burns Hideaway Hotel, Cody's Glass House, and the It House. Architect Hugh Capter received our Lifetime Achievement Award. We introduced our new logo, designed by Dan Chafkin, in 2011. That year, Chris Minrad took over as the Modern Committee's new president. The 2011 preservation honorees were Doug Hudson's own residence, the Caliente Tropics, the Lautner Hotel, and the City of Rancho Mirage. We honored Patrick McGrew as ModCom's 2011 Preservationist of the Year for his many contributions to Palm Springs as historian, author, and advocate who approached preservation with intelligence, love, and humor. He would tragically pass away 2 years later in 2013. In partnership with Palm Springs Life, the Modern Tour app was launched, featuring guided tours of over 80 landmarks for just $4.99. 2012 awards went to the Fontanelle, Craig Elwood's Polewski House, the New Architecture and Design Center, Sean Lockyer for his F5 residence, and Frank Tyson, Preservationist of the Year. We continued our popular home tours that serve as a major fundraiser for preservation. Honored were Beth Harris as 2013's Preservationist of the Year, Sunnylands for Community Enrichment, the Tennis Club's Bougainvillea Room, and Jim Reed's Morito House, which was recently substantially altered. In 2013, one of the greatest examples of organic architecture in the desert, Ken Kellogg's Chart House restaurant in Rancho Mirage, was destroyed by arson. We became one of the founders of the Architecture and Design Center with a $25,000 contribution. 2013 also marked the year when we inaugurated college scholarships for graduating seniors interested in studying architecture or design. Since then, scholarship amounts have risen to $2,500 per student. Don Wexler presented ModCom scholarships in 2014. What started as an experiment in educating students about desert modern architecture at St. Teresa School has since blossomed into a core mission of PS ModCom and its education committee for grades 3 through 8. In 2014, awards were presented for sustainability and new design, the Heflerin Beckett Residences, the Malamet Residence in Rancho Mirage, and the Jewel Box Dwelling overlooking the valley. Tracy Conrad was Preservationist of the Year. The ticketing area of Donald Wexler's Palm Springs Airport was threatened by insensitive alterations that would have destroyed its open, breezy design. City Council rejected the alterations, opting instead for a new design that expands outward from the rear of the building. It's hard to believe that it's been since 2014 that the Spa Hotel was demolished during discussions with the tribe about integrating the structure into their new hotel. A core group of individuals and organizations contributed to funding the nomination of 11 buildings by Albert Frey for listing in the National Register of Historic Places. 6 of the properties are shown here. And these are the other 5. Hugh Capter's Tockwitz Plaza was saved from the bulldozers at the 11th hour due to quick action by our attorney, Amy Mintier. Soon after, the City Council approved PSPF's Class 1 Historic Site nomination. At that point, we convinced property owner Nexus that restoring Tockwitz Plaza was in their best interest. They engaged preservation architect Susan Secoy Jensen for the project that was later taken over by new owner Scott Timberlake. Unfortunately, the preservation community was unsuccessful in preventing the demolition of the Ramon drug building by tribal Alatees. The preservation effort for the William Cody-designed Tramway Shell Station, a sculptural marvel of thin concrete, began in 2015. Thankfully, this year the owner removed many of the additions, revealing marvelous clerestory windows. Over the years, ModCom has organized modern architecture tours across America. In 2015, we explored Michigan Modern, the Firestone Estate in Rancho Mirage, Wexler's former Merrill Lynch building, the Wellwood Murray Library, and the fabulous Stefan's Folly were honored in 2015. Pioneers in modern restoration were Leo Marmel and Rod Radziner. The next group of buildings nominated for National Register listing were designed by E. Stewart Williams. 12 in total were successfully approved. In 2016, it was Cody's Jaffe residence, the Kerner House, the Monkey Tree Hotel, and Sean Lockyer's Schnabel residence that received awards. Sidney Williams received ModCom's Lifetime Achievement Award. Our first international modern architecture tour was to Havana, Cuba. It included a visit to the completely original 1956 Schultes House by Richard Neutra. The 2017 awards celebrated Cody's Charney residence, Rancho Mirage, Robinson's Department Store, Herbert W. Burns' Holiday House, and Bill Kreisel's Shackno House. Preservationist of the Year was presented to J.R. Roberts. Gary Wexler designed our current logo in 2018. Over the years, our website has been regularly enhanced as a public resource. In 2018, we celebrated the Kreisel Levitt Morse House, Southridge Cody House, the Hearst Estate, and Sean Lockyer's Desert Palisades Gatehouse. The Pioneer and Preservation Award went to Brad Dunning. The work of Donald Wexler is the current project for National Register listing. His steel houses are nominated as a historic district. In 2018, we brought the Sarasota Architectural Foundation's Walker Guest House replica to Palm Springs as a new tourist attraction. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of Nikki and her team led by Peter Blackburn, they reconstructed the house and hosted more than 6,000 guests until its departure in March 2020. The Palm Springs Preservation Foundation had a very busy 2019 with a Historic District nomination and 10 Class 1 Historic Site nominations. They also published Stephen Keelan's terrific book on the modern architecture of Hugh Capter. S-Lab is an annual summer exhibition of modernism projects by students at St. Teresa School and College of the Desert at the Architecture and Design Center. PS ModCom has been in the forefront of the effort to rehabilitate the Cody Design Library at its current location in Sunrise Park. Then in 2019, Courtney Newman became ModCom's third president. Of course, all of us at PS ModCom give a huge thank you to the many volunteers that make our events possible. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks a lot.